Welcome to our tribute video, a heartfelt space to honor those who have left a lasting mark on wrestling and our lives. Today, we celebrate their incredible journeys, reflect on their powerful legacies, and cherish the unforgettable moments they gave us. We'll also discuss the latest news about WWE star Gunther, whose recent challenges have deeply resonated with fans worldwide. Join us in remembering their stories, preserving their impact, and keeping their legacies alive. Subscribe now to be part of this supportive and dedicated community. Eddie Guerrero, born on October 9, 1967, in El Paso, Texas, was more than just a professional wrestler. He was a once-in-a-generation performer whose influence still resonates throughout the wrestling world. A proud member of the legendary Guerrero wrestling dynasty, Eddie grew up immersed in the business, learning the craft from his father, Gory Guerrero, a pioneer of lucha libre. This early exposure laid the foundation for a career defined by passion, precision, and charisma. Eddie's journey began in the late 1980s, wrestling in promotions across Mexico and Japan, where he refined his unique style, a seamless blend of high-flying lucha libre and American technical wrestling. His time in ECW, WCW, and eventually WWE revealed his versatility, from dazzling fans with breathtaking frog splashes to outwitting opponents with his now iconic lie, cheat, and steal persona. Guerrero wasn't just an athlete, he was a master storyteller, capable of evoking laughter, sympathy, and thunderous applause, all in a single match. Throughout his storied career, Eddie collected numerous accolades, including the WWE Championship, Intercontinental Championship, and multiple tag team titles. His emotional 2004 WrestleMania 20 victory, where he stood side by side with Chris Benoit as champion, remains one of wrestling's most heartfelt moments. Tragically, Eddie Guerrero's life was cut short on November 13, 2005. He was found unresponsive in a Minneapolis hotel room, having died from acute heart failure due to underlying atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. He was just 38 years old. The news sent shockwaves through the wrestling community, leaving fans and peers devastated. Despite his untimely passing, Eddie's legacy endures. He is remembered not only for his unparalleled talent and charisma, but for the profound emotional connection he forged with audiences around the world. Eddie lives forever in the hearts of those who loved him. Bruiser Brody, born Frank Donald Goodish, was a towering and fearsome presence in the world of professional wrestling, a true icon whose wild energy and uncompromising persona made him both revered and feared. Standing over 6 feet 8 inches tall, with a burly frame, thick beard, and a lion's mane of hair, Brody looked every bit the part of a gladiator unleashed. His brawling, no-holds-barred style brought a rawness to the sport that was both thrilling and dangerous. Whether he was tearing through opponents in the United States, thrilling fans in Japan, or electrifying crowds in Puerto Rico, Brody's matches felt more like street fights than scripted spectacles. Brody was known for turning arenas into battlegrounds. His signature move was chaos, ripping through security barricades, brawling into the crowd, and treating the ring like a war zone. He became a sensation in major promotions such as World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW, the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW. His storied rivalries with Abdullah the Butcher, Stan Hansen, and the Von Erichs were legendary for their brutality and realism, often leaving audiences gasping in disbelief. What truly set Brody apart, though, was his fierce independence. He was notoriously difficult to book, unafraid to confront promoters over pay disputes, and rarely strayed from his code. He demanded respect, both for himself and for the integrity of the business, which earned him admiration from wrestlers, but friction with management. Tragically, Brody's life was cut short on July 17, 1988, when he was fatally stabbed backstage at a wrestling event in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. The altercation, involving fellow wrestler Jose Gonzalez, shook the wrestling world to its core. Though justice was never fully served, Brody's legacy as a pioneer of hardcore wrestling and a symbol of uncompromising spirit lives on. Luna Vachon, born Gertrude Terry Vachon on May 23, 1962, was a bold and unforgettable figure in professional wrestling, known for her ferocious energy and unmistakable appearance. With her raspy voice, snarling promos, dramatic face paint, and trademark partially shaved head with a wild mohawk, Luna looked like a character ripped straight from a post-apocalyptic world, intimidating, unpredictable, and wholly original. Her eccentric persona and fearless performances made her one of the most unique and trailblazing women in wrestling history. Luna's wrestling journey began in the late 1980s, but she carried the wrestling legacy of the famed Vachon family, having been trained by the likes of her stepfather, Paul Butcher Vachon, and the legendary Fabulous Moolah. Her early career saw her quickly develop a reputation for her fierce commitment to character work and in-ring intensity. Luna would go on to perform in major promotions such as WWE, WCW, and ECW, never compromising her edge. In WWE, Luna engaged in heated rivalries with iconic figures like Sensational Sherry and Alundra Blaze, becoming a standout in both the women's division and in managing roles. Whether wrestling or managing male superstars like Bam Bam Bigelow, she brought a raw, chaotic presence that elevated any segment she was in. Her stints in WCW and ECW only reinforced her image as a fearless performer, unafraid to challenge conventions and blaze her own path. Despite her fame, Luna faced personal demons, particularly struggles with mental health and substance abuse. Tragically, on August 27, 2010, she was found deceased at her home in Florida. An autopsy confirmed that her was caused by an accidental overdose of oxycodone and benzodiazepines. Though her life was cut short at 48, Luna Vachon's legacy lives on, inspiring countless wrestlers who dare to be different. Antonio Inoki, born on February 20, 1943, in Yokohama, Japan, was a multifaceted figure renowned for his groundbreaking contributions to professional wrestling, promotion, and politics. He began his wrestling career in the early 1960s, quickly gaining recognition for his unique style that combined traditional wrestling techniques with martial arts, reflecting his training in judo and other disciplines. Inoki became a household name in the 1970s, particularly after his historic match against boxing champion Muhammad Ali in 1976. This highly publicized bout not only showcased Inoki's charisma, but also blurred the lines between sports and entertainment, drawing global attention and establishing him as a cultural icon. His innovative approach to wrestling helped elevate its status in Japan, and he was instrumental in introducing new styles and storytelling techniques. Inoki founded New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW, in 1972, a promotion that would go on to become one of the most influential wrestling organizations in the world. Through NJPW, he nurtured numerous talents, including future stars who would redefine the industry. His vision transformed professional wrestling in Japan, blending athleticism with theatrical storytelling and setting the stage for the modern era of wrestling. Beyond his wrestling career, Inoki ventured into politics, serving as a member of the Japanese House of Councilors. His political activism often focused on social issues, reflecting his commitment to the well-being of his country and its citizens. Inoki was also known for his philanthropic efforts, particularly his promotion of peace and cultural exchange. He organized several wrestling events in North Korea, aiming to foster goodwill and understanding between nations. His legacy is one of innovation and influence, leaving an indelible mark on both professional wrestling and Japanese culture. Antonio Inoki, remembered as a pioneer who transcended the boundaries of sports and entertainment. Darren Drosdov, known to wrestling fans around the world as Droz, was born on April 7, 1969, in Mays Landing, New Jersey. A multi-talented athlete and larger-than-life personality, Droz carved out a unique space for himself in both professional football and professional wrestling. Though his life was tragically shortened, his story remains one of resilience, strength, and unwavering positivity in the face of devastating adversity. Before stepping into the squared circle, Droz made his mark on the gridiron. As a powerful defensive lineman for the University of Maryland, he earned a reputation for his intensity and strength. His performance led him to the NFL, where he played for the Denver Broncos, New York Jets, and Philadelphia Eagles. During this time, he became infamous for his unusual ability to vomit on command, a bizarre skill that would later earn him the nickname Puke and be humorously highlighted in WWE's Beyond the Mat documentary. In 1998, Droz entered WWE during the rebellious and boundary-pushing Attitude Era. He was quickly aligned with the legendary Legion of Doom, joining Hawk and Animal in a bold new version of the iconic team. With his mohawk, body piercings, and intense presence, Droz stood out as a charismatic performer destined for stardom. Tragedy struck on October 5, 1999, during a taping of WWE SmackDown. A mis-executed move by D'Lo Brown resulted in a catastrophic neck injury, leaving Droz paralyzed from the neck down. Though the accident ended his in-ring career, Droz's spirit never wavered. He remained active behind the scenes in WWE, becoming a beacon of hope and perseverance. Droz, at the age of 54 due to natural causes related to ongoing health complications from his paralysis. His legacy continues to inspire, reminding us of the human capacity to endure and overcome. Bam Bam Bigelow, born Scott Charles Bigelow on September 1, 1961, in Asbury Park, New Jersey, carved out a legendary status in professional wrestling with a look and style that were as unforgettable as his performances. Towering at 6 feet 4 inches and tipping the scales at over 400 pounds, Bigelow was a rare breed, an agile giant who moved with the speed and precision of a cruiserweight. What truly made him stand out wasn't just his size or strength, but his remarkable athleticism and uncanny ability to deliver flying headbutts, cartwheels, and top rope maneuvers that defied expectations for a man of his stature. His flame-tattooed skull became his trademark, striking fear into opponents and electrifying fans around the world. Bigelow's wrestling journey ignited in the mid-1980s and burned brightly through the 90s as he competed in top promotions like the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW. He made a massive impact during the WWF's New Generation era, engaging in memorable rivalries with the likes of Hulk Hogan, Lawrence Taylor, and The Undertaker. In ECW, Bigelow's brutal, no-holds-barred style helped elevate the hardcore promotion to national prominence. His blend of brawling and agility made him a fan favorite and a respected competitor in locker rooms across the globe. Tragically, Bigelow's life ended far too soon. On January 19, 2007, he was found deceased in his home in Hudson, Florida. The official autopsy revealed that the cause of was a combination of toxic levels of cocaine and anti-anxiety drugs, along with a pre-existing heart condition. He was only 45 years old. His was a sobering reminder of the physical and emotional toll wrestling can take. Despite his struggles, Bam Bam Bigelow remains an icon, a trailblazing big man whose legacy lives on through his groundbreaking performances and enduring influence on the sport. Rocco Rock, born David L. Whitbread on March 15, 1962, was a trailblazing American professional wrestler whose charisma, energy, and innovative in-ring style left an indelible mark on the wrestling world. Best known for his time in the 1990s as one half of the iconic tag team The Public Enemy, Rock helped redefine tag team wrestling during one of its most electric eras. With his high-flying offense, crowd-pleasing antics, and magnetic stage presence, he brought a fresh energy to every arena he entered. Rock's wrestling journey began in the early 1980s, when he paid his dues in the gritty world of independent wrestling promotions. Wrestling under various personas, he refined his technique, learning the ropes both literally and figuratively, before finally breaking through in the mid-1990s with Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW. There, he formed the Public Enemy with Johnny Grunge, a tag team that quickly became a cornerstone of ECW's rebellious and hardcore image. Known for their wild brawls, table-smashing finishes, and chaotic crowd interactions, the duo stood out in a promotion famous for breaking every rule in the book. Their memorable rivalries with teams like the Gangstas and the Dudley Boys turned them into cult heroes. The Public Enemy's fame eventually led them to World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and a brief stint in World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where they continued to showcase their unique blend of hardcore wrestling and streetwise charisma. Despite these short runs, Rock's passion and showmanship never waned, and he remained a fan favorite wherever he went. Tragically, Rocco Rock, at the age of 40, from a heart attack while en route to a wrestling event. His untimely was a shock to the wrestling community, and he is fondly remembered as a pioneer who brought creativity, attitude, and excitement to tag team wrestling. In WWE, rivalries often come and go, built on wins, losses, and title aspirations. But once in a while, a storyline cuts deeper. It stops being just about belts and match stats. It becomes personal. It becomes war. And that's exactly what we're witnessing in the unfolding saga between Solo Sikoa and Gunther, a feud born from pain, driven by loyalty, and powered by the undying bond of family. What started as a vicious attack on Jimmy Uso has now transformed into one of the most emotionally charged storylines in recent WWE history. The breaking point, Gunther's attack on Jimmy Uso, the spark that lit this firestorm, came during a high-stakes WWE live event, a night that fans expected would deliver hard-hitting action and thrilling entertainment. What they didn't expect was a sudden, savage ambush. Gunther, the ring general, known for his cold efficiency and brutal striking ability, took things to a dark new level. He launched an unprovoked and unrelenting assault on Jimmy Uso, and didn't stop until every fan in the arena was stunned into silence. Jimmy, one half of the legendary Usos and a beloved figure in the WWE Universe, was caught completely off guard. What began as a normal confrontation spiraled into something sinister. Gunther's strikes weren't just stiff, they were surgical, targeted, malicious. Each chop echoed across the arena like gunshots. Each stomp felt like it was intended to end not just a match, but a legacy. The fans, initially roaring with excitement, fell into stunned disbelief as Jimmy crumbled under the assault. No referees, no mercy, no honor. Gunther's message was loud and unmistakable. He wasn't just here to win. He was here to dominate, destroy, and leave a legacy built on broken bodies. Jimmy, who had fought battles across every corner of the WWE map, now lay motionless. The charismatic Uso, known for his infectious energy and resilience, was reduced to a battered shadow of himself. And while the physical injuries were obvious, what came next made it clear this attack wouldn't just fade into memory. It was going to start a war. Solo Sikoa's response: blood before business. The reaction from the WWE Universe was immediate, but nothing could compare to what came next. Solo Sikoa. Solo, Jimmy's younger brother and a rising star in his own right, had always worn his family pride like armor. Since his WWE debut, he had embraced his role as both a bruiser and a guardian of the Anoa'i dynasty, the legendary Samoan bloodline that runs deep through WWE's most celebrated families. So when news of Gunther's attack spread, Solo didn't just react, he erupted. But unlike others who might have stormed to the ring or demanded an instant match, Solo took a more calculated path. He released a video on social media, raw, unfiltered, and brimming with intensity. Staring straight into the camera with fire in his eyes, he spoke not just as a wrestler, but as a brother. "You crossed a line, Gunther," Solo growled. "You think you can just bully my family and get away with it? You hurt my brother. You made a mistake, and I'm coming for you." No bravado, no theatrics, just pure, undiluted rage. For fans watching, this was more than a promo. It was a declaration. A man who had stayed relatively quiet outside the ring was now unleashing every ounce of his fury. This wasn't about titles. This wasn't about TV ratings. This was about blood. And when a member of the Inoki family speaks like that, it's not a threat. It's a prophecy. The Uso legacy. Family is everything. To understand the gravity of this rivalry, you have to understand what the Uso family means to WWE. For decades, the Inoki lineage has shaped the wrestling world. From legends like Rikishi to current icons like Roman Reigns, the family has dominated WWE with charisma, athleticism, and an unshakable bond. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, have stood tall as WWE's most decorated tag team in modern history. Their chemistry, passion, and loyalty have made them fan favorites. But beyond the gold and glory, what sets the Usos apart is their unwavering devotion to each other. When one falls, the other stands taller. And Solo Sikoa? He's not just the younger sibling trying to find his place. He's the enforcer, the protector, the silent storm waiting to unleash hell if anyone threatens his family. Gunther, by attacking Jimmy, didn't just injure one half of a tag team. He declared war on a dynasty, and in WWE, there are few more dangerous enemies to make than the Usos. Fans unite. The WWE universe speaks. If there's one thing that binds wrestling fans together, it's passion, and they poured every ounce of it into this rivalry. The moment Solo's video dropped, social media lit up like a fireworks finale. Hashtags like Sao Solo vs Gunther and Sado Justice for Jimmy trended across platforms. Memes, reaction videos, and fantasy booking exploded across Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram. WWE, ever savvy, leaned into the chaos. The company promoted Solo's response across its official channels, weaving fan reactions into the narrative and making the WWE universe feel like part of the storyline itself. The result? A fever pitch of excitement. Every Raw and SmackDown became must-watch television. Would Solo show up? Would Gunther respond? Would the Usos return as a united front to avenge Jimmy's injury? Speculation ran wild, but one thing was certain. WWE had struck gold with this emotionally charged, high-stakes feud. Gunther, the Dominator with a target on his back. For all of Solo's fury and the fans' anticipation, the man at the center of the storm, Gunther, remained as cold and calculated as ever. Gunther's rise in WWE has been nothing short of monstrous. A throwback to the Bruisers of the past, his matches are less about flash and more about sheer, unrelenting punishment. He dismantles opponents. He dominates with precision. And until now, he has done it all without showing fear. But Solo's reaction changed the narrative. Suddenly, Gunther's brutality came with consequences. Suddenly, his dominant aura was met with a force just as ferocious, but far more personal. Solo isn't another challenger looking for bragging rights. He's a brother on a mission. And Gunther, for all his power, may be facing something he's never encountered before. An opponent fighting not for himself, but for blood, pride, and legacy. The image of Solo standing across the ring from Gunther, one seething with emotional rage, the other stoic and merciless, has already captured fans' imaginations. And it's no longer a matter of if they'll clash, but when. What's next? A clash of titans is brewing as WWE inches closer to its next major pay-per-view. All signs point to an inevitable collision. Whether it's a one-on-one war or a high-stakes tag team match, the showdown between Solo Sikoa and Gunther is coming, and it promises to be nothing short of explosive. Behind the fists and fury lies something even more powerful: the chance for Solo to solidify himself as a breakout star. While his loyalty to his family is unquestionable, this feud gives him the spotlight to carve his own path. To stand tall not just as Jimmy's brother, but as Solo Sikoa, warrior, protector, and future main eventer. Gunther, too, finds himself at a crossroads. If he defeats Solo, he reaffirms his dominance. But if he falters, even slightly, the cracks in his armor could signal the beginning of the end for his reign of terror. Either way, fans are in for a roller coaster. Final thoughts. More than just a match. What makes the Solo Sikoa versus Gunther feud so compelling isn't just the brutality or the drama. It's the layers. It's the emotion. It's the story of family, betrayal, vengeance, and strength. It's about the legacy of the Usos, the rise of Solo, and the reckoning of a once unstoppable force. In a world where wrestling often walks the line between sport and spectacle, this rivalry reminds us of what makes WWE truly special: the power of story. And as Solo Sikoa stands ready to avenge his brother, fans around the world will be watching, not just for the fight, but for the heart that fuels it. This is more than a feud. It's a family war, and it's far from over.